3.40 ERA. Freeland on the other side, just 2-7 on the year, 7.62 ERA. The Rockies are in shambles. Give me Washington winning that one outright for some money line cash. Next game, Indians, Blue Jays, 7:07 Toronto. The Indians are minus 135, totals 8.5. We saw a 10-cent move toward Cleveland in the early wagering. No movement on the total as of yet. The Indians open $1.25 up to 135, totals 8.5. 72% are leaning Cleveland, 56% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Blue Jays are plus 125 on the money line. The Indians are plus $1.20 on the run line. We have Shane Bieber for the Indians, Marcus Stroman for the Jays. Stroman's just 6-10 with a 1.25 whip. Bieber on the other side for the Indians, 9-3 on the year, 3.69 ERA, and a 1.05 whip. He also has 156 strikeouts in just 124 and a third innings. Now, Toronto's fourth in the AL East. They are 39-64 overall for the year. That's 25 games under 500. They're also 27.5 games back in that division. The Blue Jays have won just 19 out of 50 games at home this year. Meanwhile, the Indians on the other side, second in the AL Central, just 3 games back of Minnesota. They are 16 games over 500 thus far, 58-42 overall for the year. They are third in runs allowed on the road. Now, total-wise, the Blue Jays are 18-13 to the over when the line was 8 to 8.5. They're also 63% to the over, taking on teams allowing 3.9 to 4.2 runs per contest. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean Indians minus 135 and the over 8.5 in that game. Next matchup, Padres, Mets, 7:10 Flushing, Queens. The Mets are minus 150, totals 8.5. Not a whole lot of movement on the money line. Good two-way action there. We did see some movement upward on the total. The Mets are minus 150, total open 8, up to 8.5. 68% are leaning Mets, 83% shaded toward the under. Right now, San Diego's plus 140 on the money line. The Mets are plus 135 on the run line. We have Danielson Lamet for the Padres, Noah Syndergaard for the Mets. Syndergaard 7-4 with 118 strikeouts in just 119 and 2/3 innings pitched. Meanwhile, Danielson Lamet for the Padres 0-2 on the year, 5.14 ERA, 1.43 whip. The Mets are 7 games back in the wild card spot, 6-3 in their last 9. They're also 24-19 at Citi Field. The Padres on the other side, 4th in the NL West. They are 18.5 games back in that division. They're also 28th in runs allowed on the road. One more thing to add about the Padres, really struggling as of late, dropping 8 out of their last 10 ball games. Now, total-wise, the Mets are 25-18 to the over at home. I'm going to lean New York Mets minus 150 and the over 8.5 in that game. Next matchup, Royals, Braves, 7:20 Atlanta. The Braves are minus 200. Totals at 9.5. Not a whole lot of movement on the money line. We did see a little bit of movement downward on the total. Once again, the Braves are minus 200. Total open 10, down to 9.5. 72% are leaning Braves, 61% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Royals are plus 180 on the money line. Atlanta's plus 105 on the run line. We have Brad Keller for the Royals, Julio Teheran for the Braves. Teheran comes into this game with a 3.61 ERA. He also has 102 strikeouts in just 112 and 1/3 innings. Now, Brad Keller on the other side for Kansas City, actually one of their best starters at just 6-9 on the year, 4.18 ERA and a 1.40 whip. Kansas City is 4th in the AL Central, 24 games back in that division. They're 38-64 overall for the year, which is 26 games under 500. Kansas City has also won just 16 out of 51 away from home. Now, the Braves on the other side, first in the NL East, 5.5 games ahead in that division. They're also second in home scoring on average per game. The Braves are third in offensive walks at home as well. Now, total-wise, the Braves are 24-13 to the over, taking on teams under 460. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Atlanta Braves minus 1.5 and the over 9.5 runs in that game. Next matchup, Marlins, White Sox, 8-10, Chicago, guaranteed rate field. The White Sox are minus 115, totals at 9. Saw a nickel move toward Chicago and movement downward on the total. The White Sox open $1.10 up to minus 115. Total open 9.5 down to 9. 55% are leaning White Sox, 72% shaded toward the under. Right now the Marlins are plus 105 on the money line. We have Zach Gallen for the Marlins, Ronaldo Lopez for the White Sox. Now, Zach Gallen for the Marlins is 0-2 on the year with a 1.48 whip. The Marlins are also last in the NL East, just 37-62 overall for the year. They are 21.5 games back in the division. They've also won just 19 out of 49 when traveling. The Marlins dropped 5 out of their last 6 on the road also. They rank dead last in scoring in Major League Baseball. They're also 27th in walks allowed. Now the White Sox on the other side, winners in 3 out of their last 5. They're also 26-21 at guaranteed rate field. They rank 8th in home hits. Total wise, Miami's 32-17 to the under when traveling. Give me the White Sox minus $1.15 in the under 9 runs in that game. Next matchup, Yankees, Twins, 8-10 Minnesota. Pretty much a coin flip in this one. Both teams minus 105. Totals at 10.5. Now, we did see a little bit of movement in the early wagering. The Yankees open $1.10 down to minus 105. Total open 11 down to 10.5. 53% are leaning Twins. 66% shaded toward the over. Right now, Minnesota is plus 190 for some run line cash. We have Jay Happ for the Yankees, Jake Odorizzi for the Twins. Odorizzi's 11-4 with a 3.18 ERA and a 1.13 whip. Jay Happ on the other side, 4.86 ERA and a 1.30 whip. Now, Jake Odorizzi for the Twins, he's got, it looks like 101 strikeouts in just 99 innings pitched. Now, Minnesota is first in the AL Central, 61-39 overall for the year. That's going to put them at 22 games over 500. They're also 31-20 at home. The Twins rank 3rd in scoring on average per game. They're also 2nd in hits. A couple more things to add about the Twins. They're 8th in runs allowed at home. They're also 3rd in walks allowed in that same category. Now, the Yankees on the other side dropped 2 out of their last 3. They're also 17th in striking out and 23rd in runs allowed on the road. Now, one more thing to say about the Yankees here. They rank 26th in hits allowed on the road as well. And when it comes to the total, Minnesota is 67% to the under in their last dozen. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Twins minus 105 and the under 10.5 in that game. Next and final matchup, it is going to be Angels, Dodgers, 10-10, Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers are minus 190, totals 9.5. We did see a 10-cent move toward the Dodgers and movement upward on the total. LA open 180 up to 190. Total open 9 up to 9.5. 73% are leaning Dodgers. 52% shaded toward the under. Right now the Angels are plus 175 on the money line. The Dodgers minus $1.05 on the run line. We have Jaime Barria for the Angels. Ross Stripling for the Dodgers. Stripling's 4-2 with a 3.64 ERA. Barria on the other side for the Angels, just 3-3 with a 7.36 ERA. The Angels are 13 games back in the AL West, 5 games back in the wild card situation. The Angels are 19th in runs allowed, 24th in walks allowed. The Dodgers on the other side, 5th in scoring, 1st in offensive walks. They have the most wins in Major League Baseball, 67 of them. As a matter of fact, they are 67-36 overall for the year, 31 games over 500. They're also 40-13 at home. Now, total-wise, the Dodgers are 6-2 to the under in their last 8 at Dodger Stadium. Meanwhile, the Angels on the other side, 6-1 to the under in their last 7 in Dodger Stadium themselves. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Dodgers minus 1.5 and the under 9.5 runs in that game. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage. Link for that site is in the description section below. But most importantly, I got to thank you for tuning in today and watching me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoy all this great free information, all this great free content. And as always, don't forget to check me out on patreon.com slash Brock Page.